Welcome to Alert Tales, your go-to channel for the most captivating real-life stories. Here we explore experiences that tug at your heartstrings, ignite thought-provoking conversations, and remind us of the connections we all share. Love stories that keep you hooked? Hit that subscribe button and become part of our growing community, because the best tales are the ones we share together. My best friend slept with the guy who rejected me on my couch, and I regret how I handled it. Buckle in, everybody, because this is a long one. This situation happened a few years ago, and I just need to get this experience off my chest because I'm having regrets. I had been training a new guy at work at the time, we'll call him Chad, and my BSF, Jane, also worked there, all in our early 20s. For context, we worked at a pyramid scheme masquerading as a marketing company, and the work culture really encouraged socializing and building personal relationships among colleagues. So it seemed normal when Chad started flirting with me, as most people at this job were very friendly, if not flirty, so I embraced the banter. To be honest, he wasn't really my type, and I wasn't interested in anything beyond friendship when it started. But his comments started softening my feelings when he would say things like, "Could you repeat that? You look beautiful in this light," and I couldn't focus. I had always been insecure about my looks and mixed race when confronted with a frat-like white guy, so it felt good to feel desired by one. Eventually, I spent the night at his house after a night out. We just made out a bit, initiated by him, then went to sleep. He drove me home from work most days, so the next time he dropped me off, I went to give him a kiss goodbye, and he stiffened. When I pulled back, he started to say that he didn't want to give me the wrong idea, and before he could finish, I cut him off. Say less. I totally get it. No hard feelings. His face said it all, discomfort at my attempt to kiss him, and relief that I wasn't going to fight him on his rejection. I smiled and got out of the car before it could get any more awkward. Although I was hurt and confused because of the mixed signals, it wasn't like I was in love with him. I was set on maintaining a friendly but professional demeanor around him, and we never talked about it again. I had plans to go out with Jane the next Friday night, and when we were walking to her car in the parking lot at work, she yelled over to Chad to invite him to come out with us. He agreed to meet us at the bar. Once in the car, I privately told Jane everything that happened and let her know I don't think I want to hang out with him too much in the future because it might be awkward, but we should still go out and enjoy our night. She told me she totally understands and apologized for inviting him in the first place. Jane had never expressed interest in Chad to me, and I never picked up either of them giving each other any special attention. But that night at the bar, they were all over each other. At some point, they started to vigorously make out, so I gave them some space and took a lap, had a cigarette outside, and came back to where I left them. I don't think they even breathed while I was gone. They were in the same spot making out as ferociously as they had been before. A bit gross and a bit annoying, but whatever, they're consenting adults. We went to a house party after this and were going to crash there, but when the lights were off, I could hear them going at it again. I told them, "Listen guys, I don't even care if you want to hook up, but could you wait till I fall asleep so I don't have to listen to it?" At this point, I was just annoyed that they were basically pretending I wasn't even there. They were quiet for less than a minute before I heard them making out again. So I grabbed Jane's keys, and since I couldn't get her attention, I sent her a text telling her she could pick her car up from my house in the morning. I was upset the next day, and when Chad drove her to my house in the morning, I barely opened the door to hand Jane her bag and keys. She demanded I let her in so she could change and brush her teeth. I wish I had done anything except what I did. I let them both in and sat in uncomfortable silence with Chad while we waited for Jane. I wish I had told them to fuck off for being such bad friends. A few weeks later, I invited Jane and a guy I had a crush on, John, over after Thanksgiving dinner to have a drink. At some point, Chad showed up. Jane had invited him without my knowledge. Chad had been very hostile towards John the entire time, asking why he was even there, making snarky remarks, and refusing to call it a night until John left. I was very uncomfortable with this, but I said nothing. I should have told him to get off my property, that I never wanted him to come over that night. But we all just went to bed, John with me in my room, and Chad and Jane in the living room. John was a nice guy, and we kissed a bit, but mostly stayed up talking quietly. Unfortunately, our conversation was interrupted by the occasional moan and bumping noises coming from the living room. I just laughed, honestly unsure of how to confront them about it, and didn't want to seem jealous because I wasn't. But I was disgusted. I wish I had charged into my living room and told them to fuck off. I wish I had told them that they're shitty friends and I never want to see either of them again. But again, I did nothing. There were other instances where Jane proved to me that she was not really my friend. Each one should have been the last straw where I cut her out of my life, but I just slow ghosted her, slowly distanced myself, and suffered through every interaction we had. I resent that I never told her how her actions hurt me, how I could have understood if she had genuine feelings for Chad and wanted to date him, but their actions felt malicious towards me. They never dated officially, but continued to act this way around me. I just wish I had stood up for myself.